nobody will ever know unless I tell the things that you've done for me in private in my times of need. But they'll look what some folks would just say, oh no, all white people are this way. Well, that's not my experience. And to Joel's point, and to your point, I think as well, Mary, I think we need to foster environments to where people can come in with level heads and say, okay, look, I know there's a lot of shit that's been going on, and I know there's a lot of history that can't be unhistory. It happened. It is what it is. There's a lot of things that are still going. But
It was what it
the
was.
Smithsonian is not. Yeah, it was what it was.
But it ain't what it ain't.
It ain't what it ain't. Yes, it was what it was. It is what it is, but it ain't what it ain't. But
That's right.
I think it takes people like us getting together. Not that we're some great whatever, but folks who say, "Oh, we choose to have a different experience. We are intentional in experiences that we're going to have." I spoke to you the day the second time I met you in that restroom, and I was we weren't snorting coke originally. I need to.
We were just washing our hands. Let's clarify real quick. Speaking of clarity, we were washing our hands at the same.
We were just washing our hands.
They had their dick in their hand before, and then they're washing their hands like you do in the bathroom.
I intentionally.
Independent dicks, not the same dick.
Independent dicks, not the same dicks. You can get them mixed up. I intentionally reached out to you. I wanted to be your friend. I knew we had similar backgrounds, and I wanted to, regardless of whether the reluctancy that you may have had, because it had nothing to do with my race, by the way, it had everything to do with where you had come from. But I was intentional about that. And I think if we would be intentional just to seek to understand. I want to be your friend, number one, because I felt like I could be somebody that understood where you were coming from. And that I could be someone that you could speak to, and you wouldn't have to filter it. It just wasn't what it was, because we came from the same place. And I was intentional about that relationship. I feel like I've been intentional about my relationship with Joel, even though I met Joel through Jessica. I thought for Joel more than I thought for Jessica. Me and Jessica send memes back and forth all day long on Instagram.
Yeah.
But other than that, I speak to Joel, but I've been intentional about that. I made a
As well,
choice that
yeah.
I like this person. I want to get to know this person, and I want to have a deeper relationship with this person. And I think that if we could foster an environment like that at large, because there's more people, like the scripture said, there's more with us than there's against us. I feel like there's so many more Black people, white people, Asians, Hispanics who want to forget reconcile. There's nothing to reconcile. I don't have anything to reconcile with you. You didn't do anything to me. But we want to understand each other and figure out where these people are coming from when they say the things that they say. I don't know what Hispanics feel whenever they come into a country and someone's yelling at them saying, I speak English. I don't know what kind of handicap that puts in their mind, knowing that English is a second language and they have an accent every time that they speak. I don't know what that is, but I want to understand. I want to know where they're coming from. I want to feel their sufferings. I want to feel their shortcomings. I want to know what they're dealing with, because if I understand that, I can understand them more.
Yeah.
I can understand. I don't need any fucking mountaintop friends. I need some goddamn valley walkers who are in the shit with me, and I can listen to your shit and you can listen to my shit, and with no respect of where we come from, we can sympathize with one another, and then we can game plan to move forward on these things, because
Yes.
the powers that be want us to get caught up on trivial shit. They do want us to get distracted by the things that ultimately don't matter in the long run. But again, my people don't know that doesn't even matter if folks are coming to them from this elitist standpoint of think like I think. And
we gotta let the ego die in the world. The ego, if you line it all back, it's an egotistical standpoint. Because when you give information or you're doing these things, well, I'll tell you what you need to do. It's coming from internal ego, and we need to get out of our minds. We talk about this all the time, Brandon.
Yeah.
It is people living in their thoughts and their existence where they can't be present. Yes, all of these things happen to you, good or bad, but you need to just be in the moment. You need to be able to listen without coming up with, I'm about to say this, they're going to rock their world. Listen, step out of the ego, let the ego die, listen to each other, and then all we need is love. And then it's love, right? We have to just, we need to love everybody. And I know that's cliche to say, but you should love people the way that you want to receive it. I don't want to be judged
1,000%.
for my actions in the sense of like, I don't want to be controlled or told what I'm doing right or wrong. I'm going to make those mistakes. Let me fall. Let me do these things. If I ask you for particular advice, please, as friends, give it to me. But if you're not asking me, I'm not giving it to you.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and I think it's hard. It's very difficult as humans because we feel like, oh, if I just say these words, then they'll get it. But that's not what they're looking for. How did they do it? Okay. You know how they say there's two types of conversations with a woman? There's a listening conversation and then there's an action conversation. Just start with the listening with everyone.
Yeah.
The action conversation or the question or the part where they say, hey, I need you to actually give me some advice here. What do I do? Then you get it. Then we act like that. So honestly, just have a filter of every person's a woman. Everybody you meet. Just listen, hug, console, be with them, give them praise, promote them as a person, be on their side. Damn good job, man. I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. Not to be looking at other people like, well, shit, they don't deserve that. I deserve that. Then try to take them down. Well, that's not that good. Well, guess what I did? This is a lot of problems we have as humans. Oh, man, I got this new job. Well, I did too, dude. I'm making this much money now. That's not what the conversation started with.
No.
It should have been, man, congratulations. So happy for you. Tell me about it.
Tell me some more about it. Yeah.
Tell me some more about it.
Yeah.
It's proper listening skills.
I agree with that. And I know we've been on here. It's probably about that
3
time.
hours now. This is the longest one, Myron.
I want Myron to have the last word, but I want Myron to have the last word, but I do want to say this. For those who are Christians, that's just the Christian story of Jesus Christ, God robing himself in flesh, just so that he could experience the way that human experience. He put himself in our shoes. The Bible says that we don't have a high priest who can't be touched by our own sufferings. He puts himself in the middle of the shit to give himself a better frame of reference, of a better place. So much so, John the Baptist, who baptized him, he's in jail now. And John sends his disciples to him, and he says, I need you to go ask some questions to this Jesus guy because he's doing shit all wrong. You know, I thought he was going to come and restore the kingdom back into Jerusalem and blah, 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 and deliver us from Rome and that. And this dude ain't doing none of that shit. So I need you to go and talk to him because I need to make sure he is who he is because I might have made a mistake. And his disciples get to Jesus and they're questioning Jesus. And this is what Jesus tells them. Say, go back to John. Tell him that the blind can see and that the deaf can hear, that the mute can speak, and that the lame can walk. Because I didn't come to take men's lives, I came and give them their lives back. And the experience of the Christ figure leaving his deity and his godliness to put himself in flesh just so he could seek to understand. I think that's the biggest example of putting your ego and your pride aside. And not, if anybody had any reason to think they knew every goddamn thing, it would probably be him, according to our Christian beliefs. Yet and still, he made himself of no reputation, is what one scripture said. Took on the form of a servant just so he could understand. And to your point, Joel, I think if we are, and yours too, Myron, if we do our best to listen and to seek to understand first, I think it would stop us from making statements that really don't reflect the intent of our heart and where we're coming from. If I seek first to understand and try to get where an individual is coming from, and I think it's the God figure that most people who listen to this, if the God figure could do that and saw that that was very important to become everything that we were, so we can become everything that he is, I think we should also follow suit and try to understand before I criticize. That's all I got. Go ahead, Myron.
Yeah,
I'll put my
as
cash
well.
app up in a minute.
That was well said. Well said. I think that my final work is this. I think as a society, we see groups of people that are and individuals that are saying loudly, don't tell me what I need to do, right? But I think if we would take that passion, as we believe in that, like we live in the most free society in the world, like people, you can do what you want to do here, right? Within reason. We believe in that concept. But if we would say, don't tell me how I need to eat with as much passion as you say, don't tell me what I need to do. You say, don't tell me how I need to think, and don't tell me how I need to feel. Let me figure that out from both sides of the aisle, of Democrats, Republicans, all of that. But don't tell me how I need to think. If we just be for a moment, and allow people else around us to be for a moment without judgment, and just have and initiate these conversations that we're having right now, change the world. Instead, you just start shouting off our soundbites and our viewpoints. And also they should there's a difference. There's a big than having something to say and having to say something. There is.
Love that. Man, this was a great best. We covered a gambit of topics here, and it was powerful. This was a powerful one.
That was fun.
Loved it. All of it.
Man.
All of it.
We appreciate you so much, Myron, for
coming
on. We're going to do
Thanks,
this
guys.
again. We are creating a track record of how many times people come on the show. So there's a special gift after 10 episodes that you as well. And we're also going to come up with some little gifts and promotional things, which I think could be fun, Brandon. And we'll just say it on this one. But I thought about it today. We'll roll this out in the next couple of episodes. But I also want to get perspective of people that we don't know, right? Yeah. So we're going to bring on some independent supporters of the show if they do certain things to promote the show onto the show. There's a pretty good movement here with people that they want to have their voices heard, right? They want to come on. Let's talk about topics they like, love. We can run the gambit with them as well. But we'll come up with a little system of checks that, if done, that we'll bring on independent guests as well. This is fun. Yeah, so let's do more of this, Myron. For sure.
Can I make the mic drop statement of the night again? I think what Myron just said. There's a difference between having something to say,
yes,
and having to say something.
It says 10 clap as well. That was good. That was really good. I haven't heard that before. I just got one of those little snippets.
Well, I got one of those hand clap sound bites.
Little sound bites there. We'll have a video. We'll have a clip for that one. We'll do a little short clip for that one. All right.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. I love y'all so much. Can't wait to see y'all again.
Thanks,
y'all
guys.
both need to come back to the great state of Texas, God's country, where everyone should be, that we love. So we all need to get a reunion soon.
Yep.
Very soon.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Don't hang up, Myron.
That'll be fun.
Don't hang up. All right, guys. We love you.
Peace.
Get out there.
All right, see you.
We nutted. It's clear.
Get your own clarity. Go get your own post-nut clarity, everybody. Love you.